Right, in this video we are going to try and talk a bit about voice control of your Pivi Pro. We're in our new Defender and we're going to talk about it. Now, I've done this video 3 times, so I've actually, for the first time in my life, written some notes about this. Basically, there's 3 ways to communicate with your Land Rover by talking to it. And talking to your Land Rover is good, but you see, it's demonstrated. It's asking me how can I help already. There are 3 ways you can communicate it. You can use the Land Rover inbuilt Pivi Pro system, which is what you'll see coming up here. You can also use Siri. So if you've got a phone, you can use Siri or the Google equivalent on an Android phone. And you can also use Alexa. Now, they all have different sort of advantages and things you can control. So I've tried to do a little spreadsheet that I've made up myself. So basically, the Land Rover system, you can control your phone, read your messages, get your phone to read your messages to you, call people and the like. You can also control with your voice the Land Rover inbuilt Pivi Pro navigation system. You can also control the media system on the Defender or whatever car you've got. So you can DAB radio, FM radio, you can get it to tune in to different channels for you. And you can also do some basic climate features. You can turn the heated seats on, you can set the fan speed, and you can set the temperature, all just by talking to your car. Now with Siri, you don't get this ability to control the car hardware. You can't control the Pivi navigation, you can't control the media, you can't control the climate. But you can, because you've got Apple CarPlay, you can control Waze or Apple Maps or Google Maps. You can control all those with your voice. And you can also, if you've got some Google Home, automated home, you can set that up to open your garage door or turn your lights off at your house or on your drive, whatever. And you can also do the whole thing on the internet where you can ask what the temperature is in Puerto Rico, something that you can't do with the Land Rover system as such. So, and then the Alexa, now Land Rover made a big thing about integrating Pivi Pro with Alexa, and I haven't tried it yet, and I will do a separate video on that. But there should be more controls you can have. But I did find, when I've been researching it, Land Rover have made a statement that I've taken straight off there, and it said Alexa's not configured to control the in-car functions, and for that you need to use the voice assistant that's built into the Land Rover. So the temperature control and the FM radio still can't be controlled by Alexa. So that's a shame. I mean, it would be good if the Alexa, which I think we'll see has better voice recognition than the Land Rover system, if that could control your heated seats and things, it would be better. But I don't think Land Rover are allowing that access. Right, there's a whole series of commands, and I've put a list of this. I will share this spreadsheet and I'll put the link in the description. So there are actually, I'll show you where you can look them up, but you can go into the voice app and you can see all the, so you've got general ones like cancel, go back. You can do wake words. We'll talk about wake words and voice tags. And you control the navigation, and you can go navigate to and send ETA to a phone. So there's a whole series of basic commands, but they're all quite defined. They're not very sort of natural speech things. You have to know what these commands are. So hopefully by putting this spreadsheet, you can do your revision and test yourself on all the commands. And we'll go through some of those now. So there are 2 ways of accessing or waking up the voice system. It doesn't listen to you all the time. You have to wake it up. Now there's 2 words. One way is you can press, and the easiest way, to be honest, is to press this little voice button here. Okay, so we'll do a little demo. Comes up here. Hey Land Rover, set the temperature to 20 degrees.
Setting vehicle temperature to 20 degrees.
Now, I didn't need to say the first bit I did. You can just actually say set temperature to 20 degrees.
Setting vehicle temperature to 20 degrees.
Now notice that the voice system is set up and there's a toggle switch. I'll show you. It actually confirms. So confirms what it understood I wanted it to do. And that's useful, as we'll see later. Now, the other way you can wake up the system is with a wake word. So you can actually use voice to wake up the voice system. So, and by default, it's set to Land Rover. So I should better say, hey, Land Rover, try again. Hey, Land Rover, set temperature to 21 degrees.
Setting vehicle temperature to 21 degrees.
So you can see that's quite good. So we've got two ways of doing it, and you can also set your own wake word, and we'll look at the menu of how to do this. And it's quite, I've called it, because our car's the Stig, I can go, hey Stig, set temperature to 20 degrees.
Setting vehicle temperature to 20 degrees.
Okay, so you can see there we can do some basic controls. Right, now let's go and look at the settings for voice, and then after that we'll look at some more things. So most of your voice settings can be found in the settings. You have to go to all, okay, and then we go to general. Kate's nodding. Yeah. And voice settings. Okay, so voice feedback, if I turn that off, okay, this won't repeat its understanding of my instruction. So if we try this again, set temperature to 21 degrees. So it's done it, but it didn't go setting temperature to 21 degrees. It just gave me a bing. Now, I would recommend that you have this on, because we have found some instances where it doesn't do what we want it to do. So let me try and see if I can demonstrate that now. So audio off.
Turning audio off.
Right, easy enough. Let's see if we can turn it on again. Audio on.
Tuning to FM.
So it's, which is good, that's what it's supposed to do. Let me see if we can do this. We did this the other day. Audio off.
Turning fan off for vehicle.
What? Right, so sometimes it doesn't get it right. So audio on.
Turning audio off.
What? I just asked. So it's useful to have that feedback, because, and also in doing this demonstration, you'll see that the Land Rover voice system is not that accurate. Either that or I speak terribly, which I don't think I'm that bad. So it does misunderstand a lot of the words. Right, so that was the voice feedback. I'd recommend leaving it on. This is voice interrupt, and it says I can talk over the system. Now I've tested this, turning it on and off, and it doesn't seem to make any difference. So I'm not clear what that is, but I would always suggest leaving that on, because basically I want to interrupt the car. I'm the driver here, I'm the alpha male here, I want it to do what I say. Right, okay, so let's talk about wake word. So wake word, this is where so if you've set a wake word, it will, so we've activated it, and you can turn off the default one, which is the Hey Land Rover, so we use that one. But you can also activate or deactivate your own. So you record it, and you can
Your wake word is
hey Stig. So it will remind you when you've recorded it, and you can delete the wake word. Are you sure? And when you've deleted it, you can turn this on and create a new one.
Like to set your wake word or phrase as
Hey Stig.
Setting your wake word as
Hey Stig. So there you go. So it's quite easy to set your own wake word, and even if your wake word's Land Rover, it might be better saving it with your own voice than the sort of default one that's trying to recognize everybody's way of saying Land Rover, which might be different. So there we go. So that's the wake word. I go back out of wake word. Media. So you can see that we can also use the online search and give us media. Now we haven't got the online pack active at the moment, but this is still, but we'll leave it there. But also they are embedded, so if I ask it to navigate to a place, it could either look that up online, or it could look on its own internal map data, and we'll try this in a minute and use that. But again, I'd recommend having both of these on. So that's pretty much all the voice settings you've got there. So let's explore the system a bit more. Right, one thing I forgot to mention at the start of this video is the system we're using now is at software level 3.30. Now, because of software over the air, Land Rover will fine-tune this system, and it will get better and better over time. So this video is only a record of it at this moment in time, and that's the great thing about this software over-the-air updates. Right, so let's just have a quick test of the system. Let's see if we can use the phone system. So let's press the button. Phone Jerry McGovern.
Jerry McGovern, mobile, dialing.
There you go. So it does that. Oh, let's quick turn that off. I want to speak to Jerry now. Oh. So as well as phone calls, you can read text messages and other stuff. Right, navigation. So one thing we can control is navigation. Then we'll get on to features in the car. So let's try that. Navigate to Buckingham Palace.
Sorry, there is no valid cloud subscription, so I cannot search for locations online. I've found several results for Buckingham Palace. Choose a line number.
So you saw initially it tried to search online, which I don't quite know why it does as an initial one, but that's its default to go online. We haven't got the online subscription, but it does then revert to its map data, and then you can select, and we can say 1.
Selecting line 1, Buckingham Palace Gardens. Would you like to set as the destination or as a waypoint?
Destination.
Setting destination.
So you can see I've controlled all my way, I've navigated my way to Buckingham Palace without taking my hands off the steering wheel, using my voice, which is brilliant. That's the goal, really. Now, one thing we wanted to look at the voice was they said that in the latest software update they had a little, I'll put the picture on the screen now, they had a thing that said we've added it now so you can say I'm hungry and it will find you the nearest restaurant. So let's have a look. So let's try it, let's test this feature out. I'm hungry.
Sorry, there is no valid cloud subscription, so weather is not available.
Weather? Weather? Let me try again. I'm hungry.
Sorry, there is no valid cloud subscription, so weather is not available.
So I don't think the I'm hungry thing, but you'll see if I search for a restaurant now, search for a restaurant.
Sorry, there is no valid cloud subscription, so I cannot search for locations online. Pardon, how can I help?
Oh, not very good. I'll try again. I might not have said it quite right. You have got to say the right thing. Navigate to restaurant.
Sorry, there is no valid cloud subscription, so I cannot search for locations online. How would you like to search for restaurant?
See, so it has got it around the car.
Searching around the car.
So you see it allowed me to interrupt it then.
I've found several results for restaurant. Choose a line number.
So what I would hope is that when I say I'm hungry, it's got the information there, but it looks like Land Rover, you haven't got the whole I'm hungry thing working correctly. And you shouldn't need to be online because you could be in a poor reception area. You should better decipher that as you've put it there. Right.
Sorry, I missed that. Please
Yes.
choose a line number.
Right. Last thing I wanted to show you was controlling. So one thing that we can do and only do with the Land Rover voice control system is control the car itself. So there are some basic things we can control. So at the moment we've got no fan speed. So let's increase fan speed.
Setting fan speed to minimum for vehicle.
See, so that's great. And you can adjust the temperature. Set temperature to 22.
Setting vehicle temperature to 22 degrees.
Right, now let's have a play with heated seats. We couldn't get this to work very well the other day, could we, Kate?
No.
No. Turn on heated seats.
Turning driver seat heating on.
It's always biased.
It's about me. It's all about the driver in this car. So let's see if we can get it to turn on passenger heated seat.
Turning passenger seat heating off.
Off.
I've not
Off.
even got it on.
So you can see that, and if you didn't have the voice feedback, you'd be a bit puzzled. I think if we keep trying, it might get it. We'll try again. Turn passenger heated seat on.
Turning passenger seat heating on.
So you see, you have to be quite specific with it. So let's see if we can. Now I'll ask it to turn the seats off and let's see what it does. We've got both seats on now. Turn heated seats off.
Turning driver seat heating off.
See, so I would expect if you didn't specify driver or passenger, if you said turn the seats off, it should do both of them the same. And bear in mind, this car has occupancy sensors, so it knows there's two of us sat in the front two seats. So I think it needs to apply a bit more logic. So there's something a little bit squiffy there. But the basis of the system is good and it will get better. So you can also use it to control the audio. We looked at that earlier, although the audio on-off doesn't work very well. But the radio is quite good. Tune to DAB radio, absolute 80s.
Tuning to absolute 80s.
So that's a really good system. You can change your radio channel very easily with that. So there we go, that's a bit geeky. So we've covered the Land Rover system. We'll do another time, we'll do a video on using Siri, and we'll do another video on setting up Alexa. But for now, that's just the Land Rover system. Good luck with that.